the durability of the piece of the because of the design of the sharpened rock. It's actually more durable than the more unrefined pieces of matter. So when cavemen made tools, they would I guess they would bash that sharpened piece of flint against the other bits of rock, and they would then be able to make stone axes by using some sort of plant fiber to attach the axe head to a wooden shaft that they took from some fallen brush, some fallen tree branches or what have you. It's a bit like what came first, the chicken or the egg. You need an axe. You need to make an axe to use it to gather resources. Then you can gather resource. Once you have the axe, you can start gathering resources properly. I heard that the plant fiber they use is actually hemp, which is pot, marijuana, grass. Hemp is used for a lot of things actually. Rope, also making rope, and they used to make jeans from hemp as well. Aside from the medicinal uses of it that it's well known for. The breakfast lunch. Let's kick it. Surgery and medicine. Artificial limbs were made as early as the 1500s. But without anesthetics to make the patient unconscious, surgery was painful and barbaric. The discovery of bacteria led eventually to life-saving drugs and medicines which are used in hospitals today. Moving on. You know where to get this if you want it. Solar sun. Look at this, underwater. On the left, engineers carry out repair operation on the giant power station of the future. It uses difference in temperature between the warm surface waters and cool deep waters to generate power. Wow. Energy from space. Building space stations. Factories in orbit. I think they do that. They do that now. This is a very old book. It's from the 70s, 60s and 70s. Moon money. I should tell them on the Frontier forums you can download this PDF. It might give them some ideas. Look, an electromagnetic catapult that carries minerals up to 2,400 meters a second, enough to escape the moon's gravitational pull. The modules will be aimed to finish their journeys close to space factories orbiting the Earth. What are these things? These triangular satellites, each one 300 meters across, are in fact giant mirrors made of reflective aluminium foil. They're designed to focus sunlight onto the night side of the world. The mirror's beams could be switched from place to place. Farming on the land and sea. They said this would be happening in the 1900s. The world's population was 2,000. No, this is a prediction. By 2000 it would be rocking over 6,000 million. Meat will be expensive. You can already buy extenders like this cheap soybean product. It is mixed into meat stew to make it go further. Fish farming, the underwater world. Well, they use dolphins as sheepdogs. And the sharks are the sheep. The walls are made of air bubbles leaked from a fish farm cage. I can't see that. A leak from the pipe system. Fish stay behind the walls, they dislike passing through bubbles. Medical emergency. There are the bubbles. There's a shark. I very much doubt that sharks would stay within the bubbles. People and machines. These are all artificial parts, organs. Exploring a heavier gravity world in a powered exoskeleton. Artificial intelligence. I like this picture. Man and machine partners down the future ages. This picture shows a possible exploration team of the future. Humans and machines work together as they study a small inhabitant of a world far away in the depths of space. That's the human. She looks wearing a green suit. In this explorer team, the humans are in charge, though the starship's electronic brain has more capacity than the brains of all its human crew put together, and would probably override or at least query any orders it disagreed with. The human-shaped machine, a true robot, is possible, but likely to be an unusual member in the ranks of the robots. Designed and built for specific functions, few robots will need exactly the same number or type of limbs as a human being. And it's one of my favourite pictures, that. Yeah, this book is definitely the three other books combined. Remember that? It was carried by Pioneer 10 and 11, showing human beings carrying the aluminium plaque, showing human beings, the spacecraft, the planets of the solar system, and its position in the galaxy. Two Voyager probes carry disc recordings which tell the story of life on Earth in words and sounds. from the crashing of waves and the grunts of animals to the cry of a baby. I don't know about that. Oh, look at these aliens here. They look different. They've got 4 arms. I think most of the aliens in the original Elite game were based on animals from Earth. They had feline humanoids, avioids, bird-like people. They had insectoids, including the Thargoids, which were the a technologically advanced race of mantis-like insects, I think, as they are described in the Elite Wiki. And yeah, they were evil, and they hover in hyperspace or witch space and ambush people traveling while they're in hyperspace as well. While they're in traveling in witch space as well. Not sure. What else? There's also amphiboids, frog-like people, amphibians. Yeah, just like creatures from Earth. I think there's also reptiles as well. But by the time Elite Dangerous rolled by, they all mysteriously disappeared or moved away. These creatures have their own radio telescope there, probably, that looks similar to ours. Creatures live in Messier 13 cluster, and they are about to find out what life was like on Earth thousands of years in their past. What happens if we contact alien beings and they are far in advance of the human race? Some think the result would be an exciting era of adventure and discovery. Others argue would people struggle to achieve breakthroughs in art and science if they had the feeling that it had all been done before. A sort of racial laziness and ultimately death could be the result. Perhaps if there are aliens out there, they will not reply until they think the human race can stand the shock of contact. What do you think? Will contact be an adventure or a disaster? I like their instruments. It's very unique. It's probably some sort of star thing, navigation. That's probably the controller they have. Weird. Mind over matter, the final frontier. Many people believe in addition to the ordinary human senses of sight, smell, taste, touch and hearing, a sixth sense lies waiting to be developed. They call it extrasensory perception, or simply ESP. It includes different abilities such as telepathy, the ability to communicate thoughts, minds to mind, and telekinesis, the ability to move objects by an act of will without touching them. Yeah, I've got a set of those cards somewhere. Just wait a sec, I'll see if I got them with a set of Time Life books on various supernatural things and oddities around the world. Mysteries of the Unknown. That's the name of the books. Look them up. They're Time Life. Look them up if you're interested. And there's wavy lines. Plus sign. Another plus sign. Star. Square. They have some sort of system for marking scorecards. I'll put down the name of a volunteer. I get people to volunteer. Remember that scene from Ghostbusters? That famous scene where he's doing the he's testing the attractive blonde girl, and the guy with the geek, the geek. I guess he's a geek or a nerd. Well, possibly just a geek who typical of those types of movies they made in America. He was actually passing. He actually guessed correctly a few times in Peter Venkman, Bill Murray's character. Kind of paid more attention to the blonde, obviously. That's what it's all about. Who was getting it wrong? Yeah, I feel the other guy's pain though, and he stormed off saying, "Keep the money." He was pissed off. The ESP looks like Star Trek. Love these pictures here. Cities in space. That's a bit like the Orbis stations or the Ocella stations in Elite Dangerous. It's not that different. It's not that different from what they have in Elite Dangerous. Underwear. I wonder if they have the same book. More pictures. Oh, this is Future Cities. There's more to come. Look, central heating was supposed to be a Roman invention. Industrial Revolution of the 1800s. Yeah. And these are caves where we used to live. This is in the Philippines. 4,000 years ago, the New Stone Age, and this is the future. That's Ah, it shouldn't be like that. You can't see the whole thing at once. Riding bikes. I think I prefer the one underneath, yeah. This one looks a bit bleak. The polluted city of a dying world. I'll just quickly go through this. You know where to find this if you really want to have a proper look. It's got some interesting... Here's a sea city. This is probably what you'd find on Chengo with their floating cities. It's a self-contained floating city. The tallest skyscraper ever. A moon base. See these tubes they travel through? It's like Logan's Run. The Olympic Games, year 2020. Another 5 or 6 years. This is back in the 70s. Oh, where is this? It's on the moon, I think. Look, he's got a little torch, but it's got a globe around it. And he's wearing a suit. Luna. Cities in the sky. City in the Sky 2. Now here's the same station we saw earlier. There's the living area, farming units, space factory, radiator. But where's the place where they put all the ships? Here it is again. Now, this is got something to do with Carl Sagan. He proposed that they can actually make Venus a livable place if there's life on Venus. Sagan's plan ought to be dismissed immediately. Man has a poor reputation for protecting other species on Earth. I guess that's a big thing too. There could be life on Venus already, but just not as we know it. But it seems uninhabitable at the moment. Building cities on the moon and in space could be successful, but people may still prefer the wind, rain and open skies of Earth. On the moon there is little alternative to domes, tunnels. Here it is, the big rain. Okay, Venus, named after the Roman goddess of love, was misnamed. It is covered in choking clouds of sulfuric acid, and its atmosphere is poison carbon dioxide. The surface of Venus roasts at a spectacular 480 degrees Celsius, twice as hot as the kitchen oven. The big rain, and oxygen replaces carbon dioxide, the atmosphere of Venus starts to clear a little. Heat presently trapped will escape into space, and the temperature will start to drop. Eventually, water vapor will collect, the first rain will fall. It will not get as far as the surface, boiling the steam before it gets there, but each time it rains, surface temperatures drop a little. Eventually, a scene like the one shown should be possible. Here, the first manned vehicles are setting out on an exploration of the surface, formerly available only to toughly built robots. Surrounding the explorers is thundering torrent of the big rain, the excess water vapor of an entire atmosphere smashing down. There is only enough water vapor to result in a 30 centimeter deep covering on the surface, and one idea is to provide more is to bomb the planet. Comets, which often contain water in the form of ice, could be redirected towards Venus by the blast of nuclear explosions. They would melt as they entered Venus's atmosphere. Where did I get that? Why does that sound so familiar? They would melt as they entered the Venus atmosphere, spraying water or vapor into it. A giant dust cloud could be orbited between Venus and the Sun to help cool the planet down. Eventually, people might be able to live on a newly inhabitable world. It is important to realize that these are ideas only. It could be centuries before advanced technology required to perform feats of planetary engineering is developed. But it sounds so familiar. That sounds like something that was done to me on the comet. I was redirected. Once in orbit around Venus, automatic controls around aboard the ship start firing off tiny torpedoes into the atmosphere below. Inside each torpedo is a colony of tough bacteria ready to eat the atmosphere of Venus. Sounds interesting. The hardy bacteria, a form of algae, consume the carbon dioxide atmosphere, releasing the oxygen content of its waste. The algae will feed and reproduce, slowly converting the poison gases to what is to us vital oxygen. So they use algae. See, plants produce algae is a plant, and it eats carbon dioxide. It breathes in carbon dioxide and produces oxygen. That is the plan. I'm not sure if it will work based on what they now know. Suppose the Venus plan fails or is only partly successful. Future medical science can make it possible to create new varieties of human beings so they can live in places where the rest of us cannot. Do you remember I was talking about Rogue Trooper in an earlier video? I guess that's what they mean by those clones. Plant types are continually being improved to give better yields, bigger fruit and stronger resistance to disease. In the future, humans can be modified. The results could be higher intelligence, better physique, and like crops, stronger resistance to disease. Like the blue clone troopers in Rogue Trooper. Making identical creatures, a process called cloning, is also a possibility. Clones can also be made of frogs. In a few years it should be possible to clone domestic animals such as prize cattle. After that, the frightful vision of hordes of identical people, perhaps an army of super soldiers, could become a terrifying reality. Clones, yeah, the clone troopers of Rogue Trooper with the blue skin and who can tolerate poisoned atmosphere and gases and man-made poisons and bombs. Apparently there's it's not allowed from what I hear, but they only do it to sheep. I know about frogs. Huge plastic dome cities, or perspex I guess. They'd use a type of perspex. Here's a hollowed out asteroid